Want to get this briefing by email? Here's the sign up. Good evening. Here's the latest. Evan Vucci, Associated Press. 1. Republican lawmakers unveiled the most sweeping rewrite of the tax code in decades. It tilts the country toward a tax system long championed by businesses. The bill includes several landmines that could complicate its passage, like limits on deductions for mortgage interest and for state and local taxes. The real estate industry and small businesses blasted the bill, and Republicans from high-tax states said it would have to change to get their support. Here are 6 charts that help explain the plan. A spokesman for the home building industry said, "They are picking rich Americans and corporations over small businesses and the middle class." Sol Loeb, Agence France-Presse, Getty Images. 2. Jerome Powell, above President Trump's nominee to head the Federal Reserve, arguably the second most powerful post in government, is seen as a centrist and pragmatist who will stay Janet Yellen's course on monetary policy. He was nominated by President Obama to the Fed's Board of Governors in 2012. Robert Mercer, a billionaire investor and conservative lightning rod, is taking a step back just as his star rises. He said he was selling his stake in Breitbart, which the former Trump strategist Stephen Bannon has resumed running, to his daughters for personal reasons. And he is retreating from the helm to the research arm of his $50 billion hedge fund, Renaissance Technologies. Sam Hodgson for the New York Times. 3. President Trump dropped his idea of sending the suspect in the Manhattan truck attack to Guantanamo, but once again called for him to be executed. His Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, visited New York, above, where he met with prosecutors and the NYPD, and defended the Justice Department's anti-terrorism work. Mr. Trump, a day earlier, denounced the American criminal justice system as a joke and a laughingstock. "We traced the history of the suspect, Sayosapov, who was lucky enough to obtain a lottery visa to the U.S. but struggled once he got here in 2010. A truck driver with long bouts of unemployment, he seized on the trappings of religion and grew increasingly angry." Mike Blake, Reuters. 4. The fallout from UAL harassment revelations continues. Gavin Williamson was named Britain's defense secretary, after his predecessor, Michael Fallon, resigned. Brett Ratner, a prominent Hollywood producer and director, is facing allegations of harassment and assault. A former contestant on The Apprentice, Summer Zervos, above, is suing President Trump for defamation for insults after she accused him of unwanted advances. And the top news editor of NPR, Michael Oreskes, resigned after being accused of harassing women there and in a past position at the Times. GJLP, CNRI Science Source. 5. Heart disease is still the leading killer of Americans, and stents, tiny wire cages that can open up blocked arteries, are often lifesavers in heart attacks. But a new study suggests that the stents may be useless for many of the hundreds of thousands of heart patients who get them each year to reduce chest pain. "Unbelievable," said a prominent cardiologist. Niantwine, European Press Photo Agency. 6. In Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi visited the region where her government's troops are accused of carrying out a campaign of ethnic cleansing against Rohingya Muslims. The violence has driven hundreds of thousands of people over the border into Bangladesh since late August, telling horrifying stories of arson, execution and rape. But Ms. Aung San Suu Kyi, above, showed little sign of condemning the violence, as critics have urged. "We all have to try our best to live PC," she said in one village. Beru's Mary, Agence France-Presse, Getty Images. 7. A Japanese company is offering extra vacation days to employees who don't smoke, citing time their colleagues use on cigarette breaks. About 20% of people in Japan smoke cigarettes, one of the highest rates in the world, and the government is trying to limit public smoking before the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. Mike Nelson, European Press Photo Agency. 8. Every city wants a World Series victory. Houston, post-Hurricane Harvey, needed one. The Astros' first championship victory produced euphoria in the storm-ravaged city, capping a dramatic season that gave the city a great mass distraction. People ate or listened however they could, whether in motel rooms because they're still displaced, or in gutted rooms still missing carpets and walls. How do you ever top a victory like that for shortstop Carlos Correa? By proposing to your girlfriend on TV. Mary Wallacea, 24, via Associated Press. 9. To say that our critic raved about Lady Bird, the new comedy by the director and writer Greta Gerwig, might be an understatement. The film stars Saoirse Ronan, above with Lucas Hedges, as a Sacramento high school student struggling to come into her own. What Ms. Gerwig has done, and it's by no means a small accomplishment, is to infuse one of the most convention-bound, rose-colored genres in American cinema with freshness and surprise, our critic writes. I'm tempted to catalog the 6 different ways the ending can make you cry. Blank, NBC 10. Finally, the late-night hosts were truly tickled by reports that President Trump wanted to call the tax plan the Cut Act. I will say, every time he's on TV I have this fantasy that a director will walk in and go, cut, Seth Meyers joked. Have a great night. Blank, your evening briefing is posted at 6 p.m. Eastern. And don't miss your morning briefing, posted weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, and your weekend briefing, posted at 6 a.m. Sundays. Want to catch up on past briefings? You can browse them here. If photographs appear out of order, please download the updated New York Times app from iTunes or Google Play. What did you like? What do you want to see here? Let us know at briefing@nytimes.com.